Welcome to Jack Dotson's Racing Insider News this week. We got a special guest. Is it? All right. You got a tip ready? Or? Let's see. We got it right on time. Papa John's. Thanks, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Look at that. And we didn't even we didn't even plan that, Jack.
That's a good advertisement. We got Papa John's right on time. How about that?
I mean, we can't thank those guys enough. Look, man, if you see me and Jack walking around the racetrack, ask us for these things. You can get a free medium cheese pizza, a 2-liter Pepsi, breadsticks, cheese sticks, or a cookie. So ask us about those things next time you order some Papa John's, and we'll give you a free bookmarker and it's a free cookie for the kids. With a paid, can't double up on the free stuff now. So you can't get a free pizza and a free cookie. Am I doing something wrong? Okay, I'm just checking. I've been known to mess something up. So got to thank our. It's kind of we look better with the lights off, right? Got to thank our marketing partners here. Let's go down the list here. Let's go the other way. Let's see. You want to thank Performance Plus Motor Oil. Safety Clean. I think they even do stuff here at the racetrack, picking up waste oil and stuff.
Really? Don't do nothing for me.
They don't do anything for you? Damn, Jack. Maybe somebody shouldn't hog all the free stuff. MPM Marketing, Tanya McAllister, if you need some help with some social media stuff. Black Acid Racing Apparel, if you need one shirt, 50 shirts. Fracture, you need some shirts?
Probably.
Probably? Okay, well, Jack will hook you up.
Yeah, well, I'll get with your dad. We'll get that straight.
Factory Canopies, they give us these nice chairs and some other stuff. And I got some big stuff. And we still ain't got Todd on here about the, what is it called? The lock?
Fluid lock.
Fluid Lock. Thank Bill Mullis, Chuck Hall for allowing us to do the show here at Langley Speedway. Pepsi for the drinks. Bondurant Brothers Distillery. GAC, Great American Company. NC 811. Show is presented by Smith Wraps and Graphics. Gonna thank those guys for coming on board this year. Food, probably don't even need to advertise for them. Papa John's, they delivered right on time. Yep. Mayhem Management.
And she blew us off tonight, so I'm not gonna say that. She's our.
Well, I mean, it is custom Mayhem Management. I mean, Mayhem.
Yeah, well, she's Mayhem, all right. That's okay. Well, I'm gonna let her slide this week.
And then we don't have a good one. So I don't know which one's better there. Slinger Graphics, Slinger Speed. If you want a shirt, cards. What doesn't he do?
He does a bunch of stuff.
One day we're gonna have him on. He's too busy playing in the band.
Yeah, he plays on a band every Tuesday night, so he can't be here.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's more important, playing in the band or being on the show? I mean,
well, being as we don't pay him.
What's up, Sean? Thanks, guys. And with that, we had some good racing this weekend.
Yeah, we'll tell you some great racing up there in Watkins.
And they tested the lights here, Jack.
They tested the lights Saturday night here. Could you see
a penny on the backstretch?
I'm gonna tell you something. It was amazing when they turned them lights on.
I can't wait to see this.
And their modifieds came out on the track, and they turned them, and the cars just popped when they came out. It looked so.
I wonder what that's like.
And of course, I heard Mark Wirtz make the comment, well, they've done something now. They've found a way for all us old folks to see now.
Well, there's probably no way getting away with something on the backstretch where nobody can really see. That's where you can rough somebody up.
Then I heard the everybody that was buying flashlights and stuff to work in the infield, they're out of business now.
They don't even need them, huh?
So anyway.
Clay, it's your last trip. Huh?
All right, let's get with the racing now. Now, tell me a little bit how you feel about the Kyle Larson Chase Elliott thing. Now, I know Chase Elliott's his favorite driver.
I think it was good hard racing. I think, if I was in Chase's position, I'd be mad too. I'd be upset. But in the end, Chase would have probably done the same thing. I think it was just good racing.
That's all I thought it was. I didn't think. I mean, it seemed like they're making a big deal out of it.
I mean, if you look at it's funny. I was waiting for Rick to turn around and go, hey, well, this is a terrible position to be in when you got two drivers fighting for wins and championships. That's a terrible spot to be in,
well, I thought.
I'm saying that funny because
I thought it was funny how when he went over there and was talking with Rick and Jeff, it was
Right.
very animated.
Oh yeah,
Really
he was upset. You want some pizza?
Yeah,
You allowed to eat pizza?
And he was very animated and going like this and going crazy.
You're not allowed to eat
I
pizza.
am allowed to eat pizza.
Oh.
Who's not?
Okay, all right.
But everybody now saying he went over there and had to go over there and snitch and
Well, I like how they interviewed him. He's like, "No, congratulations on the win." He didn't mean that.
from what I understand, it was a very nice meeting yesterday morning at Hendrick Motorsports. Everybody trailed up to this room upstairs at Hendrick's, and from what I understand, 2 or 3 hours later, here they all come out, and everybody had a smile on their face. So
I think in the moment you're mad.
yeah,
Afterwards, I think you're probably like, "I don't like it," but
I guess Mr. H brought out the cookies and milk again.
right, yeah.
So, anyway, all right. In the ARCA race at Watkins Glen this past weekend, Brandon Jones got the win. At Springfield on the dirt, Jesse Love got the win after the two cars. I mean, it's hard to find the car's not going as fast as they were going, and he turned him over going on the front stretch there. I mean, unbelievable. Down at Bowman Gray Stadium this past weekend, well, racing season's over at Bowman Gray. The modified race, the race itself was won by Jason Myers, and Tim Brown got championship number 12.
That's crazy.
12 championships.
Because that's a tough place, regardless.
And in the Sportsman Series, Riley Neal got the win, and his uncle Tommy Neal got the championship. So that was a pretty good deal for them. At Motor Mile this past weekend, late model race number 1, Mike Looney. Right now, late model race number 2, Mike Looney. And in the Mod Fords, Kevin Canter picked up win 101.
I just like to get one.
And he'll be
I
with
got
us.
one already.
He'll be
Right.
with us in a little while. We're going to talk with Kevin in a little while about his 100 wins. At Tri-County in the late models, Isabella Robusto got the win in the late models. She's part of the Rev Racing situation over there. She got a big win down there. Sobo this past weekend, late model race number 1, Peyton Sellers. Late model race number 2, Lane Riggs. Imagine Lane Riggs winning the race. And limited late models, Kyle Barnes. At Capital Speedway, Watermelon Capital Speedway. I'm sorry, that's somewhere down in Georgia. Corey Heim got the win in the Southern Super Series. At Wake County this past weekend, Bandolero race number 1, Phoenix Kimball, and she was here this week. At
She was?
on Saturday. She came here Saturday.
Oh no, you can't have one now.
Bando race number 2, Josh Lowe got the win, and in the late models, Clay Jones got the win. At Ace Speedway, late model winner, Ryan Millington. Limited late model winner, Dylan Harville. Down at Dixieland Speedway this past weekend on the dirt, the Budweiser All-Stars winner was John Staten. Brendan Queen ended up finishing 5th. And in the Sportsman, race number 1 was won by Brad Adams, his first time winning on dirt.
Oh, really?
And the second one was Roger Bell. Roger Bell pulled the win in the second race, which was pretty cool.
Did anybody vote for anybody else?
Yeah. But I'll talk about that in a minute. Up at Dominion, we got Brandon Fuller here tonight from Dominion. I did not get all the winners from Dominion.
It was a lot.
I did not get them. I know modified race number 1, Mike Rudy won.
Yep.
Late model race number 2, Kayla Searle got the win.
Modified, yeah.
Modified. I'm sorry, modified.
Yeah.
Excuse me, modified. In the mini stocks, Jesse Jones got the win.
Yep.
And in the Virginia racer, I think Alex Brock, he won both races.
He got both of them. He got both of them. He swept the night. It's actually 4 in a row for him.
Geez, he's doing pretty good.
Yeah, he got it hooked back up for him. And UCAR, he had Dallas Cosby in the first race and Mike Chapman in the second.
Okay, I didn't get those.
I got the whole list right here. I just, I posted early today. I got it just out the clip.
Well, I was probably on the way down here and did pay attention to it. But anyway, some good racing up at Dominion. Also in that Virginia race, one of the Virginia races, I was hearing that Kyle Nestor was running so good, and then he blew a motor.
Oh man,
Yeah, it's unfortunate when you see somebody who's been making those gains.
And he was right there. And I know that the plan was for them to race some more there and come here to race one of our Virginia races down here. Don't know where that stacks up right now with them, but
I saw a picture they had the motor out of the car on, I think, Sunday. So I mean, they're obviously just like every crew. They're out there working hard to get back as fast as they can.
well, I hope he gets back. I hope we can get him back down here, for a race. And of course,
when you build them big motors, they don't last long.
Huh? Oh, you talking about them cheater motors?
Well, I just said big. I just said big.
I'm not gonna say that because Aaron's been very good to us, so we can't say a whole lot. I'm gonna say really nice things about her. So
What's up, Andrew?
even if I don't mean some of them, I'm gonna still be nice. But anyway, yeah. And then here at Langley Speedway this past weekend, the lights came on. What was the saying? Lord said, "Let there be light."
That's it.
Jesus, it looked like daylight here. I mean, it was amazing how it worked out. I tell you, Bill and Chuck and everybody here that had anything to do with those lights, they did a great job. I mean, I was super impressed. And from what I heard, how much these lights cost, and we still haven't seen. Scott will get to see it this weekend when they do all the bells and whistles. Because I understand there's some stuff coming with it. They did not. All they did was just turn them on the other night and let everybody see it. So that's pretty cool.
Did they leave it on the rest of the night?
Left it on the rest of the night. They waited till the modified, got ready to start the modified race, and Bill and Chuck came up here, and Chuck goes in there and starts talking. He's Chuck.
He's good at talking. He's got a face for radio too.
Yeah, we're gonna play some Elvis music and all this other stuff while we wait on the lights and all. He was doing all kinds of stuff. But Chuck walked back out and Bill walked back out and left, and he was up here talking to himself. And by that time, Bill came back in, and they said, "Well, the band just told me we got to test our lights, so we got to do it right now. We're going to test the lights." And he said, "Did everybody want to see the lights?" And everybody was kind of quiet. You didn't hear a whole lot of rumble out there.
No.
And Chuck said, Well, I guess we won't be turning on any lights then. By that time, they all woke up and.
Aaron said, "We appreciate your support, Jack. That's why you're the favorite." Even though he lies to your face.
I cannot. Look, hey, that's our graphic designer. We're not going to say anything else about it. So we're going to let that go. But anyway, the lights work great. And I'm really glad to see they're here. I understand in the next few weeks they'll get the other lights down.
I just thought, when she comes on and takes over for me for a month or so, you could rename it. It could be Beauty and the Beast. I mean, but it'd be true.
Your mom, you can see your mom got in
Yeah,
Does your mom act like this normally?
yeah, all the time.
No wonder Charlie took off and went back to New York.
I mean, you'd have the Beauty and the Beast. I mean,
We'll get over that right now. Here at Langley Speedway, in the Bando division, Aiden Milet won the race. I'm going to tell you, Atlee Weiss ran that race, the whole race, just about, I think, the first 17 laps.
leading.
He was leading the
Oh
race.
man,
And doing a great job. And something happened on the back straightaway. He cut it a little short and hit a car on the side and took him out of the race. But
I can't wait to see his parents when he does win, and him.
I think they were doing a lot of pacing the other day.
I could imagine.
And then, shoot, I don't know. Late model race number 1, Greg Edwards became the third
Finally back.
different person with a win this year in the late models other than Brendan Queen. That was a pretty good deal. Late model race number 2, Justin Carroll. I'm gonna tell you something. Justin Carroll was on a rail in
Was
that
he?
last race. That was.
Is that why he
out
got?
there,
Is that why he got 1% of the driver of the week votes?
Yeah, pretty much. In the modifieds, Matt Carter got the win. Thank goodness he won. I heard Ricky Smoot was going to show up. That
He did. He show up.
Somebody said they spotted him in the infield. I think it was.
He got arrested before the race started.
I think somebody said they spotted him in the infield, but then they saw some people in suits walking around down there, and it's the next thing you know, he was gone.
Mm.
So he didn't get to race the race. But anyway, let's. In the U cars, Cody Bryant got the win in the U cars.
I mean, was that like 15 in a row or something?
And got the win in enduros too. So Cody Bryant, I think he's got like what? Between all 3 divisions, he's got like 10, 11, 12
He's got to be
wins.
wore out.
Oh, no kidding. He's something else. Grand Stocks, Chris Roberts got the win. Tommy Jackson Jr. came back this past weekend.
That was good to see.
And he gets the win. It was really good to see Tommy here after his accident he had earlier in the year, not at the racetrack, but off the racetrack. And he finally made it back here, and it was really great to see him. And he was running just like he always did. Unbelievable.
Out front, nobody could touch him.
No, won't nobody close. In the Commander's Cup, Team Marines got the win. Now, I don't have the breakdown on who was on those right now. I'll get them before the end of the show. But Team Marines got the win. I think they had a finish of like 5 points, something like that for the races.
Mm.
In the national news, a little more. Eric Almirola has now decided he's going to stay at Stewart Haas.
We had heard that rumbling.
When we were in Richmond, it was kind of being put out there a little bit that was going to happen, but
that he may not be.
Yeah. Now, the saga of Kyle Busch keeps getting bigger and bigger. Think
It sounds like Gibbs may not be.
Well, I'm gonna give you what I heard today. Okay.
Is it what we heard in Richmond?
Yes. I'm not going to give you who it is and where it is, but what we heard in Richmond, and he will probably not go back to Joe Gibbs next year. So that's kind of surprising to me. And I'm also hearing through the grapevine, Kurt Busch may be done.
That's not a shock.
They're saying it's a good possibility that he will not be back. So that's a big.
Are you going to give any more information on the Kyle Busch thing, or are you just going to leave everybody in suspense?
I'm going to leave everybody in suspense because
I mean, because we had
the
already
wind-
said
the
that
wind-
last week.
The wind can change, and it does quite often. When the wind changes, Kyle Busch's mind could change. So that's just the way it is. But I'm hearing from a very reliable source that he has signed a contract with a new team. So, and that's supposed to be sometime at Charlotte or Darlington. It will be announced. So, anyway,
You heard it here first.
yeah, but
We won't mention that college racing could be.
there. I mean, college racing was Stewart Haas, but I guess now they don't have an opening now. So, from what I understand, Cole Custer has let it be known he ain't going nowhere. So
His daddy runs the place. He ain't going nowhere.
So anyway, all right. And also, might as well go ahead and announce driver of the week this past week from Dixieland Speedway. Roger Bell got the driver of the week. He'll be with us next Tuesday night. So,
I mean, how many votes did he get? Did you sure he doesn't have a mafia?
yeah, he somehow he got connected to the mafia because it's just like you. He had 37 votes.
Yeah, Donald. We switched it up.
He had 37 votes. The next one in line was Tommy Jackson with 13.
Oh, well, more than I thought.
And so anyway, but hey, it seems like to me after races like that, the mafia really kicks in hard and they start early. So
You can go into the night.
So So when you get to racing, when you come here to race, Chase, you got to get hooked up with the mafia. Okay?
Alright.
Because they'll help you. They'll help you out. You might want to become driver of the week sometime. And
I hope.
okay, well, I hope you do too. All right, we got Chase Barclay. Now, give you a little background on Chase Barclay. His dad and my son worked on a race team together, so that's
And
how
y'all
I
are
met
still
him.
friends?
Well, I guess I don't have any way of knowing.
Oh,
Charlie done hauled butt back to New York, left his wife and kid here, so I don't know what to tell you.
he's brave.
So anyway, so they had some time together, and that's how I met him. And then at Richmond, I got to meet Chase at Richmond, and so what we're going to do is we want to hear about your racing. So tell us a little. We don't want to hear nothing about your dad because, he was all right.
I mean, we already know you're a better driver than he is.
You got to be a better driver than him, right?
I better be.
Okay, all right. That's all we need to know. Go ahead. Tell us where you got started and how you got all about you and racing.
Where we got started was on the off season around March and September. We went to one of the swap meets at Long Island Valley at one of the tracks I haven't raced at yet. And we were looking around for a go-kart there and found one and without that there. That's how we started.
Cool. And so
And Robbie Parker said, "Don't worry, he's got you covered with the mafia. You're in good hands. It's like Allstate."
you've already got a mafia hookup. Look at that. So when you
I don't
come
even
in,
race here.
huh?
I don't even race here yet.
No, look at that. You already got a mafia hookup. So where all have you raced up in where you're from?
I've only raced at one track. I've raced at Turkey Trot Speedway in upstate New York.
Okay. So where exactly do you live in New York?
I live around Malta, Clifton Park.
Okay. Cool. So how much do you really get into the racing thing other than you racing? But do you like watching racing? And I know you was having a blast at Richmond.
Yes.
I saw you that having. I mean,
I know. Met Haley Deegan.
I know.
Look at him smile.
Ooh, you were glad you met Haley Deegan when you turned red too. Look. But anyway, did you enjoy meeting Haley Deegan?
For sure.
For sure. Did y'all have a chance to talk to each other a little bit? Or
No, she was in a rush.
She was in a rush.
Yeah, they all are.
I know I walked out there and saw some other people that I knew, and everybody kept saying, we're out here, we're looking for Haley Deegan. And I saw her getting in the truck. That was all I saw. You saw her up close and personal. Now, who did you enjoy meeting the most? I mean, you had a picture with me.
Don't say Jack.
You had a picture with me. You had a picture with Hudson Hall. We know that ain't much. And you had a picture with Haley Deegan. Now, who was the best?
Haley.
And there goes your chance coming back on.
Mhm.
So what all have you raced? Tell us what you're racing.
I'm racing a flathead go-kart.
So you're ready to come back here and get involved with the
Clones.
Hampton? Are you going to become a member of the Hampton Roads Kart Club? And
Probably.
do you like asphalt or dirt?
I haven't raced asphalt, but I like dirt. It's just harder, probably.
Yeah, you got to be a real man to drive on dirt. Ask Scott. He don't know because he ain't never done one. I used to race on dirt.
He didn't set the bar high.
Whatever you want to say. So, what are your plans for the future? What do you want to do in racing?
Win more races and just get better.
So, do you have ideas of maybe someday going to like start off with maybe a bando or a legend or something like that to start with? Or you past bandos and
so my pop has a frame down in Georgia for a super truck, and I might do that.
all right, that'd be cool if you did a super truck. Now, how old are you?
I'm 11.
You're 11. Okay, you can do the super trucks.
So now, do you work on your go-kart now? Do you help prep the tires?
I prep tires. I can take the whole car apart now by myself.
That's good.
Well, I'm glad you can take the car apart by yourself because you ain't got much help there with your dad. I ain't never, when Charlie, when he was racing, I didn't see him do a whole lot. He liked to change tires and stuff like that, when he was racing. I saw him do some of that. He liked doing that.
Yeah, because he used to be on a crew chief. He used to be on the tire.
Yeah, he was with Travis Miller when they were racing. So that was a pretty big deal. I mean, I don't want to hear what he's got to say. I know what's got. I just saw the name pop up. I don't even want to hear what he's got to say. So I already know. Scott probably don't know who your favorite driver is and who you were named after. So I was told, huh?
Chase?
Yeah, Chase. So I heard you were named after him. Your mom said that.
So that means your mom's got a crush on Chase. Let's see. He ain't paying
Yeah.
attention.
So until you go to win, you go out and start winning races and stuff like that, you make it into the big time. Ooh, man, aren't you gonna be something?
What do you mean?
You the women gonna fall all over you and everything? Because that's got to be the only reason why your mom fell for Charlie, because he drove race cars. Really, that has to be it. Don't you think so? Go ahead and say it.
Probably.
He can dance too.
Oh, you can dance?
No.
He can dance.
No.
Oh,
No.
Charlie can dance. Buddy, when he comes back here, we're gonna get him on the show, and we're gonna see him dance. Now,
He says we know how to make those trucks.
yeah, he did know how to do. He won some races in them trucks. So.
Now that's the same truck that Hunter's got, right? That's the first one, which is still winning races.
Yeah,
Or
and
running big motors.
I'm not gonna say that, but it's good to have a wife that likes to race and stuff, because she knows more about racing.
Than Charlie does.
Yeah, probably does. But
Better
oh, well, then we need to get you in a car. Now, if you were racing, and you're going in that super truck and everything, you're racing the super truck and you're racing against your dad. Your dad's gonna get into one of you. If you get
He's
in
gonna get inside of me, for sure.
I mean, your dad is going to try to drive a truck. If you're driving one, he's going to want to be out on track too.
Mhm.
We know that. I know that about him. He's going to want to be out there. Now, you and him are racing.
Jealous.
You and him racing. You going to dump him for a win?
Would you?
Would you dump him for a win?
I mean, his nickname was Hammer.
Well, we ain't worried about him. We're talking about you now.
I might.
You might.
We might go to go-karts in Nags Head, so
You're going to dump him down there, huh?
I might. I might.
Just rattle his cage.
Wow, you just got, you don't care. Now, we had people on the show before. Scott will tell you, we had somebody on the show before that he dumped his mama in a modified race
For his first win.
for his first win, and he didn't eat for a while. So,
She wouldn't make me sleep for a while.
oh, really?
No.
So if you would dump your mom for a win too?
No.
You would? Oh no,
No.
you wouldn't.
No.
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 Are you scared of her?
Yes.
Is your dad scared of her too?
I don't know. I know my brother is.
I know Charlie. He is scared. He's scared of her too.
Mm.
He won't admit it, but he's scared. That's the reason why he's in New York and she's down here having a good time. So when you move down, how fast you gonna bring your carts and everything and be ready to try that for a while before you try to go get that truck?
We ain't got a trailer yet, so I don't know.
Tell your dad to get a trailer.
I've been asking.
Have you? No?
Yeah, but there's nowhere to keep it where we live.
Okay. Well, you're gonna be coming here soon. We have plenty of places to keep it.
I mean,
Yeah.
Jack's got a yard.
He's got 2 shops.
So when did you start racing?
This year actually.
Okay, so this is your first year, huh? So what was like the first time you went out in the go-kart? Were you nervous?
Before I got on the track, I was nervous. But once I got on the track and did the first lap, I was like, no, it's not that bad.
You
How
can
many
handle-
races did it go before you won one?
4.
4 races.
How many have you won?
Jack was like 40.
1.
You won one? That's how many he got.
I've got a couple. I don't have one in a Pro 6 yet.
You don't have, he says he's got a couple. One of them
Jack,
was
Jack went 40 years and still looking. You know, he's the Michael Waltrip.
what you looking at, man? No, I'm not, you know, it wasn't that bad. You did good. You got a win in your first year. That's pretty cool that you did that.
Well, I didn't even know I won actually.
How you not know you won? Somebody got DQ'd?
No, actually, someone I don't know why, but they ran 2 classes in one race,
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that
they do
messed
that
me up.
sometimes.
and I thought I came second, and I missed my checkered flag lap.
Ah, that sucked.
Mm.
Yeah, so the guy in front of you was in another class.
Did you help anybody that night in the race?
I said good job to the other kids, and Logan, which is one of my competitors, he was like, he didn't say a word to me. He just got in the truck. and left.
Oh, he was mad because
Yeah, he was mad.
he was mad because you won the race.
Yeah, he has 4 years under his belt, and I beat him in 4 races.
Mm.
Wow, you.
And he ain't on no damn show, is he?
So now when you go back to New York, you go find him and say, look, while I was
Just
in
send him a
Virginia,
link to the show.
while I was in Virginia, I was on a racing show. And he comes and
A
told
real-
all about.
Not a real show, but you know, kind of a show.
He says it's not a real show.
I think it is.
I think it is too. Scott's like that. He's not.
Exactly, Scott.
Anyway. All right. Do you have any sponsors on your go-kart?
I got first my mom and dad and my brother. We got Team Icon, Turnings by Taylor.
Yeah, you
got a list.
Yeah,
You
she made
need.
a list. I ain't got no time to study it.
That's all right.
Signature Landscape Lighting and Design, the Barber Lounge, Turns by Taylor, Team Icon, Mom and Dad Carter.
Well, you said mom and dad.
That's
and
not my
brother.
handwriting.
I know that, but I'm looking at the Barber Lounge. What is that?
That's a barbershop.
It's a barber shop. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking there's a little more to that.
From the word Barbara might.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, the thing lounge got me at the end of it too.
Hey, whatever. Whoever writes the check.
That's right. Well, Chase, thank you for coming. We appreciate you being here. And good luck to you when you get moved down here. I hope you get down, move here soon.
I do too.
And when you get to racing and everything, be in touch with me. We're going to try to get you back in here, especially after you win a couple races.
All right.
And, you know, and then maybe, but meantime, I'm going to try to get your dad when he comes back down here. I'm going to try to get him on the show to dance.
Get him to do the cha-cha slide.
Oh, I'll get him to do something.
Is your mom or dad, did any one of them embarrassing at the racetrack?
My mom, she loves to talk. And my brother, because the only thing he does is sit on his phone and change tires.
Now, you don't have radio, so that's
No, you don't even have spotters. You can't have anything.
so that you don't have mom and dad hollering at you till you after the race is over.
Me and my dad have signs. Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Okay, bud. Glad to have you with us. Tell Dad I said hi. I talked to him yesterday, and have a good time down at Nag's Head. I hear you going to Nag's Head, so have a good time.
Thank you.
Go down there and dump your dad in the go kart.
I'll go.
Okay. Because I got a grandson who'll dump me in a heartbeat.
All right, Chase Elliott Jr.
All right, come on over here,
here.
Brandon. Okay, good to see you. Thank you.
Now, I had a couple of outfits. I was going to come in here and dress for success, but I didn't have the bandana for my pirate outfit. I was going to come in here and.
Are you the guy up there at Dominion that did all those, used to wear all those things?
I'm the guy.
Oh, man.
And I still do it.
I was up there one night and everybody was talking about, hey, he was going to dress up like, I forget what it was.
Probably a hot dog. I've been a hot dog. I've been a leprechaun, lucky leprechaun. I've been a pirate. I've just been a lot of stuff.
So
We like to have fun. It's we race hard and we have fun.
You know,
have fun.
Gotta have fun.
I've made it known that Langley's our home track. But I came last year several times to Dominion, and I fell in love with that place.
Yeah,
It's a great racetrack. The people are really cool.
Mhm.
You can't ask for more than at a racetrack. I mean, we got a lot of stuff here too. I mean,
We still got Chris Stuffy.
yeah, well, that's one bad thing you have to deal with. But I mean, the place in there where you can sit down and watch the race inside there, and
It's definitely a unique place.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Matthew Dillner. He's coming on the September 17th. He's put it out there. It's the nicest short track facility in the nation, and I stand by that. We've got a nice track. We've got a nice facility. We've got concessions. That's probably right.
Y'all
one of
have
the
Papa
best.
John's?
If we needed to, we could probably make some. Papa John's is a sponsor. If I made a call, we could get some there. But we've got good pizza at the 118 Bar and Grill. We've got a full bar and grill concession on like you're talking about. You can sit in the AC, watch the race. So that's pretty cool. Especially for older folks, like my grandparents, they come out to the race. They don't want to sit in the sun all night.
Now, what does that cost? Is it give a ticket covers everything, or is it a ticket for the stands and then you have an additional?
Yeah, so it's $20, $18 advance if you go online and get it before Friday at 12 o'clock, but $20 at the door. That gets you pretty much all over the facility with the exception of the hospitality suites upstairs on the third floor.
Okay.
it is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I mean, I even had Mark Potter buy me lunch up there.
What?
Man, that's Mark's tight now.
That's what I'm saying.
So I had him to buy me lunch one time.
Usually, you sure you didn't buy?
No, it was Mark Potter who bought it.
I bet Mark didn't pay for that.
Yeah. Well, I don't
Somebody
know who-
comped it. I'm sure.
The money
He
came
probably
out of his
used-
pocket.
He might have used his free meal for you.
Yeah.
Well, no, he pulled the money out, and handed it to me.
Wow.
So I went down and got it. He said, "Here, take this down."
So he's sick. Something's wrong.
Yeah, I have to check on him. I'll check on him. I don't think he's there this week. I think I'm 2 weeks in a row now. I'm hosting the races by myself. So that's been fun. It's been a blast. That's been, I'm just extremely grateful to be where I'm at and have the position. It's been a lifelong dream really to be involved in racing in some sort of aspect. So to be there at the track.
So how did you get started in all
Yeah,
this?
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, so obviously, a little bit about my background, but when Dominion put out that they were looking for an announcer, that's really how it started. Was Dominion was looking for another announcer. They were looking for a victory lane announcer, and I reached out and was like, "Hey, I've got zero experience, but I'm in sales. I know how to talk to people. Let me get a shot at it. I've grown up around racing. It's just something that I thoroughly enjoy. So they gave me the shot, and one thing led to another. I'm out there running around with Mark Potter, and next thing you know, JD leaves for the communications position. So I when they asked me to, hey, do you know anybody for this position? I was like, well, what does it entail? And they laid it all out, and we came to a mutual agreement. They're very generous on the flexibility with my schedule. So I'm just grateful to be in a position and to push forward, with racing and make it. I think there's so much opportunity with growing the sport. And
Oh, for sure. Would you say you grew up in the sport? How did you grow up in the sport?
so my first job, actually, it's kind of cool. I tell people my first job, if you want to get technical, it wasn't much, but Emmanuel Zervakis paid me $20. Me and my brother.
Now you're going way back.
Going
You're sure
way
how
back.
old are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I thought you said you were young.
Yeah, so I was 4 and 5 years old. I grew up. My father, Jay Fuller, he worked at Stock Car Products back in the day. My whole family basically worked at Stock Car Products. So I grew up there. I had a choice. I had to go to work with mom as a hairdresser or go to work with dad at the race shop. So it was the race shop every time I got the chance, and we rearranged upstairs. It was like where all the Long Acre stuff was and the gauges and stuff. I don't know. We rearranged it, cleaned it up, and Manuel gave us $20 one day, and that was a big deal, of course, around the shop. You know, he was tight.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah. He was
so
quite a
that was-
character too.
That was probably the most, biggest race somebody got around there at that point. They were
But
joking
Emmanuel
with us.
Savakis is when you talk about true legends,
Yes,
he is one. And
for sure.
I used to race at Southampton Speedway, and the guy that he and I worked together on cars and on my car, his car, and everything. He and I got to be good friends. We would go to Stock Car Products, and of course, Emmanuel was always there when you would go up there, and I would get more fun sitting in the office with him while they were out. Butch and all of them were out there looking around for stuff. I'm sitting in the office with Emmanuel listening to his stories.
Oh man, the stories! I tell you, the people around that place could write a book. I don't know why they haven't, but that's the stories from Stock Car alone. Stock Car Products alone is
Right.
Right,
and I only know probably a handful of them. So
Right, didn't Jeffrey Bodine?
Jeffrey
and he
Bodine
lived in
lived- He lived behind there in a
motor
trailer
or something. Yeah.
back there. He lived back there behind him. And Emmanuel he had some stories about that too. But
So yeah, I grew up around there. I grew up around South Side and Southampton and Langley. My uncles, both my uncles, my Hopkins. So
you're a
you're like-
Hopkins?
I thought you knew this.
No, I did not know you were a Hopkins.
I'm a Hopkins. I'm a Fuller. I'm a Hopkins. My uncle, my grandfather's Barry Hopkins.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Chris and Sean Hopkins. That's both my uncles.
Right. Okay.
So watching them grow up, those are my two superheroes.
Oh, that's
watching them
cool.
race.
I mean, yeah. And they were very successful at Langley. I mean, at Southside.
Yeah. I
So-
think Chris got the. I think he ended up the last Southside. They had the double championship. I think with the late model and the modified. I don't know if he pulled that off or not. I know he got one of them at least. He was tearing them up that last season.
Some of the names that come through
I
Southside
swear.
Speedway, unbelievable.
Pretty good.
Of course, the bad boy, Chris Dodson.
Yeah, where's I got his the Joker. Where's he at?
I have no clue where he's at. He's just kind of left out of the limelight. I haven't seen him. I've been looking for him to get him to come on the show one time. I'd like to have him on.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And I can't get no response from anybody on that. So that'd be cool. But anyway.
Yeah.
So what all you say you're the communications up there? I mean, you do a lot of the stuff up there and announcing and everything.
Yeah, so I run social media. I read everybody's comments. I see all the likes, the messages. I control the messaging. Actually, Dominion has a lot to offer, right? So it's an oval track. It's a road course, 2-mile road course. It's a first floor. We've got the grooves. It's a music hall, music venue, and then you've got the outdoor music venue if you had a bigger event. So we've got a lot of shows that we have booked. So I handle some of the booking. I handle the back end ticketing and a lot of the marketing for just the shows themselves. The marketing for the road course, we rent that out. We had Velocity there today with the Lambos and the Ferraris out there. So just a bunch of different entertainment and cool
Don't y'all have a
stuff
big
that
show
happens.
coming up soon?
We've got the big Smart Tour race coming up. Yeah, September
that?
17th. That's the Craig Murtaugh Memorial, of course, honoring the life and legacy of him. He was a great friend of a lot of folks, especially Matthew Dillner. He's going to be there. You've got the Smart Tour, Bobby Labonte, Burt Myers, of course, all of those. That's been a big, everybody's been watching that tour around. So that's going to be a big race. We've got a lot of cool stuff planned for that race and kind of planned leading up to that. And then we can tease a little. I can't say much about it, but we do have a big race coming November 19th. So all I can say, November 19th, mark your calendars. It's like a couple of weeks in the hunting season. So I know we had to be easy. We had to tread lightly.
Yeah.
But it's been something that's been requested. A lot of people have been talking about it. So that's been the biggest thing. It's being a track, and you guys know it's the fans, the drivers. It's a big family, and we try as hard as we can to.
So how do you reach the younger generation like Chase that just left here? Because I mean, you sort of grew up in the sport.
Right.
I kind of got in a little bit later. Jack made his way in. A lot of these kids that are come along, most of them are born into the sport in a way.
Yeah.
We need to get more kids outside of the sport in the sport. And you're younger, obviously, than me and Jack. How do you bridge that gap?
you bring up a good point. Like for me, I'll say, unfortunately, after both my uncle stopped racing, that was it. I mean, I hadn't been out to a racetrack in a minute. So you're right. If you're not born into it, if you don't really have that emotional connection with the driver, it's hard to get somebody new out to a race.
Yeah, it is.
So that's something that I've been experimenting on. I spend a lot of time in the audience. I do the announcing, so I see a lot of people that come out. I see a lot of the regulars. I know why they come out. I see a lot of new people that have come out, and I've asked them what brings you out. So I think more playing up the younger drivers, the young guys that are coming up, playing up those guys, playing up the personalities.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot you used to see back in the day with personalities and rivalries. Like he's over here talking. He's talking smack over here on the podcast. He's 4 races in and he's already got a race, on his guy. And that's the type of stuff I think tracks as promoters and marketers need to play.
Tell us about
the
bikes you were on this past weekend.
The bike? Yeah. What do you mean?
She said Brandon was out there racing kids on bikes this past weekend.
Oh my God! Yeah, so
Were
we
you
had
on a little tricycle.
Yeah, no, I was on foot. So we had the kids ride bike race this week, and that was fun. We had different age groups for the kids to come out there and race on the track, and we had some decent car counts in some of the divisions, and then we had some lower car counts, bike counts, and some. So I didn't want a few of them to race alone, so I got out there, gave them a couple car links head start, and I raced them on foot. And I like my legs, my thighs are still killing me today, so I like to wish I didn't do that.
You couldn't get Erin out there to race with?
She was playing, photographer, I think, over in Victory Lane somewhere, trying to get some shots. So everybody's got their role.
It's funny, going back to the people at the racetrack today. Kevin Harvick talked about this in the media center last week after Richmond, that he got to experience like coming to Richmond and having 160,000 people, or going to Indy where I think they have 200, 220, or they did at one time, and seeing stands full. It's a different market today.
Right.
We don't get those same people. Don't come out. They watch it on TV. Yep. But we don't have those people physically come out anymore.
And I think COVID, that kind of put a weird thing. I do a lot of reading on social media as well. I read a lot of comments and try to get feedback and see what's the sentiment, what's everybody thinking. And you see a lot of people with the front stretch interviews, and then pulling up into Victory Lane, and then just like those old school Victory Lane celebrations. That was something to watch, and just the emotion in Victory Lane. That's a cool thing with short track racing, is you still get that. As the announcer in Victory Lane, I've been a part of some people's first wins, and that's been awesome. The camaraderie and the emotion in Victory Lane when that happens, to take that out of the sport, it takes an element, that's sticky.
Well, it does, and it's funny because NASCAR the last year and a half has brung that back. Where used to they would pull over into some gated thing and do a Victory Lane, which they still do, but they still do that now. They do the interview on the front stretch, which I think is cool because all the kids get to come up and see and experience that, where before they just drove off and they didn't, you heard it.
Yep. All right, let's we'll take a break. You got time to hang around for a few more minutes?
For sure.
Okay, let's go ahead and get Kevin Canter in here. You can't hold up a man that's got 100 and some wins in a Mod 4. We got to talk to him.
Mr. 100.
101. Excuse me, 101.
Yep, we made one this weekend at Motor Mile.
So when you look back on that, how big is it that you won 100 races?
It is wild. I thought the first win was crazy, but to know that we've got 100 now is insane. It is insane.
Did you ever think, like when you first started the first couple of years, did you ever think you would be in this position at some point?
I didn't figure it with 6 to 7 years. No, I figured probably 10, 15 years down the road. But when in 2018 and 19, when we started chipping them off, we had 30 some wins, and 18 and 20 some, and 19. I knew we were doing something then.
So what kind of big celebration did you do for your 100th win?
Well, we got some big numbers down there at the track, and had all our friends. We had some shirts made up. One of our sponsors had shirts made up. My wife done the big glowing numbers, and got a lot of pictures with all the sponsors and family and all that stuff. And then headed up to Motor Mile the next that Saturday. We ended up not winning up there, but we just had a tough time up there. We've had a bunch of second places and thirds. We just haven't been able to seal the deal until this weekend.
Well, I tell you what, I've been, ever since you've been on the show the first time, I've been following along behind you to see how you're doing. And I'm going to tell you what, you've got that modified 4 down pat, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Well, my grandfather's done it for, I'll be 31 in December. He's done it for 31 years come December. And then I've been going with him since I was probably 3-4 years old. And then my dad, Rocky, the one I bought my car from, he done it for a good 12, 13 years. So we've had plenty of run around with it.
Can you imagine how somebody like Scott, who's only won like 1 race, and you got 100, how envious he has to be of you?
I wouldn't say envious, but I mean, they're all awesome, whether you got 1 or 100. So,
well, he's got
It's-
1.
It's one more than he's got.
He's got 1. Hey, look, you didn't sleep with the trophy or anything after the race or anything like that.
No, Lord, no. We actually gave it away.
Gave the trophy away?
Yeah, I've got so many of these things. You can see them all sitting behind me here. Well, we about win 80, we started giving them away to kids every night.
Yeah, kids love that. I
Oh,
tell you,
yeah.
Trophy, so we give it to them, and the next weekend the other boy will come down, or a little girl say, "Well, we saw you give that trophy away. Do you want to give that away?" I said, "Yeah, here, take it."
Jesus Christ, that's unbelievable that you gave that 100th win trophy.
Yeah, I might have would have kept that one.
I might have had to keep that one too. I think that'd be cool.
My wife, we're getting overrun with trophies, and she said, "No more. We don't get to keep any more." I might keep the 150 and the 200 though.
God damn.
Well, with the way you're going, we'll probably see you do that in year after next, so it won't be no problem. So that's really, I mean, it's really cool that you got 100 wins. I was telling Scott and them last week, it's 100 wins. Can you just imagine 100 wins? And that's just basically what, Motor Mile and Kingsport?
Well, the majority of them is at Kingsport. I'd say we've probably got 70 or so at Kingsport, and then probably another 20 at Coburn, and then we've got 4, or no, that makes 3 at Motor Mile. We finally got the new motor back this weekend, and I've been telling them boys up there, I've been down on horsepower, and we've done pretty good up there, but we just hadn't been able to seal the deal, and we got that new motor in there and rolled off for first practice and rolled out P2 after practice, and then made some minor adjustments and went out for the second practice, which is our practice qualify, because we don't get a qualifying, and got our first pole up there. Thing was flying. We hooked it up and got it in a race, and we ended up knocking the wall down on the first lap, coming up off of 2 up there Saturday, and I drove it on off into 3, and I said, if anything's going to break, it's going to break now. So it held together, and we led probably 22 of the 25 laps and come home with a win.
So how much practice does somebody with 101 wins need at a racetrack when he's done won that many times?
Motor Mile is a different animal. When you go up there, you've got to be on top of your game. I'd say we've raced probably 20, 25 races up there, and we've only got 3 wins up there total. And the first one up there we won the first time we ever went up there. We won the first race of the season, and we have fought and fought and fought. Up there, you got to have all those guys are on top of their game. Kingsport and Coburn, I could probably sit out both practices and qualify and be fine. And but up there, you got to be on it.
Oh, okay. Well, so when I come to Kingsport and you're racing at Kingsport, you won't have to practice. We can just sit there and watch everybody else.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's a terrible problem to have.
Yeah.
There's got to be a lot of drivers wish they had that kind of luck to be able to say that.
Yeah, well, a couple years back when, I guess it's probably 2015 or 14, before I bought the car for my dad, they were doing Ingersoll Ram nights. And he would just show up on Ingersoll Ram nights. They'd say, because they were giving a free tool away, and he's a mechanic. And he'd show up on Ingersoll Ram nights and wouldn't even practice, qualify, start the rear, and come win and get the tool.
That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. Well, Kevin, congratulations to you, man. I keep up with you.
Somebody said he kept the flag, though.
I see that.
Oh, you kept the flag for that race.
Oh, yeah, it's the one right behind me there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'd probably have to keep that too.
Something.
Yeah,
It's a
for
rubber
sure.
on the
Look,
track.
hey, Scott slept with his trophy when he won his one race. And he put it in a seatbelt and everything when he came home. So
That was the third trophy, Jack. I've got more than one.
Oh, yeah.
It's precious cargo.
All right, Kevin, we appreciate you being with us, man, and good luck to you the rest of the year. And hopefully we'll get you back on here when you. I would say you got the
150.
championship at Kingsport, right?
Yeah, we could miss a race down there and probably still win it. And we got, I think, 3 left down there and 2 at Motor Mile. Last race at Motor Mile's twins, and we're 15 behind the leader up there. So we're gonna have to have a miracle up there. If we'd have had our motor back a little bit sooner, we'd probably be ahead. But yeah, it's part of life.
Well, just run up behind him and move him out of your way and keep on going.
Right.
All right, Kevin, appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
All right. Perfect. Thank you, guys.
All right, buddy. Good luck,
appreciate it.
man.
All right. See you.
All right, let's get Dennis on. Dennis Hirtz on here.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. How you doing, man? Good.
Well, pretty good. It's really late in Germany right now. I'm right now in Germany, so it's 2 a.m. in the morning. But I'm very happy to seeing you guys.
Well, we're happy to see you. Now, tell us a little bit about this new thing you got going on, trying to get a race team over here in the Cup Series.
Exactly. Yeah. So literally, I'm trying to fulfill my life dream, having my own NASCAR Cup Series team. Growing up as a diehard NASCAR fan when I was like 11, 12, 13 years old, watching Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt, Terry Labonte racing. And I always wanted to be a team owner. I never was like this kid that, I want to be a great race car driver. I always was like, hey, one day you want to have your own race team. So at some point in my life, I decided to go into racing, but never as a race car driver, always like from the marketing side, team management side. Did this for many years back in Europe with most of the time was Phoenix Racing. It's an Audi Sport Factory team.
Wow.
So we did DTM, GT World Challenge, ADAC GT Masters, all their big endurance races in Spa, at the Nürburgring. And I felt pretty comfortable with this. I really liked it, but I always had in my mind like, but there's NASCAR. You like it even more, and there's your favorite manufacturer is racing there. It's Chevrolet, and so I made for myself the call last year with 2 friends to say, hey, let's give it a try. Let's start to build something up and try to join NASCAR. And now here I am trying to get everything rolling, get everything on track. Looks pretty promising right now. So if everything works fine, we can run the last races in 2022. But latest in Daytona, we like to be present at the track.
Yeah, well, that would be cool. I mean,
So where you at in the process? Do you guys already have a driver sort of lined up? Do you have a shop and
Yeah.
cars and that kind of stuff? So where you guys at in the process?
So I have to say that I have to be a bit quiet about who our cooperation partners and who our drivers are. But we have 2 very skilled drivers. So our plan is for the road courses, fielding a road course experienced driver.
Mm-hmm.
So there we have someone in mind, a good friend of mine who is a 2-time 24 Hours of Le Mans winner. And for the road courses, we are talking to a very experienced NASCAR driver who's well known through the especially Cup Series and Xfinity Series. Yeah, this guy we want to field on the oval courses, because as we are an open team, so the plan is in 2023 to run 10 to 12 races. So we have to qualify as, we're an open team, so we're not having a charter. So I have to make sure that this car makes the top 39. Even my goal is running better than P39 for sure. But they're very, very confident having a good driver lineup together. So, and to make everything the right way, for sure. In the beginning, when I had the initial idea to say, hey, we want to do NASCAR, I had the idea, come on, like, we know pit stops. We are super fast in pit stops in Europe. We have great engineering, great mechanics. So I was thinking, like, hey, is it worth bringing like some European guys over to do racing? And then I said, no, you can't do this. You need an experienced pit crew that is not doing 1 or 2 pit stops doing a race, that knows how it is doing 12 pit stops in Darlington in 95 degrees heat. So I made the call and the decision, contacting a well-known NASCAR team in North Carolina, if they would cooperate with me, if they could be my alliance. They agreed they would do it. And with this team, we will field the car. So literally, they will prepare the car. They support us with technical stuff and everything needed. And pretty much the management is German from 3F Racing. The owners and the founders are German. And then it is our goal over the next years being more and more independent. So over the years, bringing my own guys, learning my own guys into NASCAR, until hopefully, like within the next 3-4 years, like operating completely independent, but for sure with a strong technical alliance that we can make sure having a good engine, because we don't want to start to build our own engine or anything like that.
Well, man, you got to start a little bit ahead of time and work with somebody to get you up to speed, get everything going like you're supposed to. And it's going to be hard without a charter. Have you looked into the charter system is getting ready to change next year or after next year? So how does it look for you on that?
I think he froze. Oh, no. There we go.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. It maybe sometimes the internet connection is not as good as in the United States, because even we're in Germany, a very, well known for good engineering. If there's one thing that is not working in Germany, then it's internet, whatever it's Wi-Fi or it's cell phone providers. So it's good that I'm not talking to sponsorship to cell phone providers from Germany. So probably that would be sealed now or would be done now. But no, it's like. So I'm sorry if it breaks up in between. It might be the bad internet in Germany. So could you just repeat the last sentence?
Yeah, I'm saying, you have to hook on with somebody to help you get started with the right pieces and everything there. You have to do that. Now with the charter system, the charter system's getting ready to change. Are you looking into getting a charter down the road?
Down the road, I definitely like to get a charter. So latest at the moment when we start running full time, I really would like to have a charter. For sure, we're doing racing, so it always depends on money. I'm not a silver spoon kid, so I need sponsorship. I need strong partners. So I'm not having $50 million in my bank account can say I'm using it for racing. So it will really depend for sure for what kind of money the charters will go in the future. So, and I hope that there is a way, or we will find a way to afford this, because running full time is definitely the goal. I mean, like I'm building 3F Racing to, as I mentioned earlier, as a live stream. So I'm not coming to NASCAR to say, hey, I want to try a little bit and see how it's going. If it's not, I go. I really want to build up my own legacy. Maybe that sounds too much, but I want to build something up that stays. So,
have you talked with other owners and everything about this and how you're going about it? I know you said you talked to them about getting your car started, but have you talked to them about how things go and how you got to do this and do that with the charter?
Yeah, sure. I have there an exchange, but really discussing now a charter, it's in my opinion too early. It's a too early stage to discuss now a charter with NASCAR or with $20 million on one of the NASCAR pages. That would be like a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I said, in the end, for sure, there are exchanges. It's also an exchange for sure with General Motors. I know some of the guys from General Motors really well, and they're helping me, supporting me, not financially, but with networking and everything.
Mhm.
But I'm used to do racing on a high level, and whenever I did racing in Europe, the team I was with was always super successful. So I could say I pretty much won every championship or big race in Europe you can win with the team. So for sure, at one point, I want to be in NASCAR at this point where I can say, okay, I can race for wins, or I can race for top fives or top tens. I'm not expecting this in 2023 or 2022, but in the future, it's definitely my goal. And I think if I want to run that competitive, I have to be at the stage having a charter. So at some point, it will be definitely a big and important topic.
So will you have, when you start this team and getting everything going, are you going to integrate your people in with some NASCAR people to try to get all this together?
So as I said, so in the beginning, it's like pretty much the management, the marketing, the videograph, who's pretty amazing. So I hope that we can get some good videos on track, are German. And so for the first year, it will be mostly US Americans working at the car. But as I said, the idea like coming over and saying, hey, we have German mechanics would be maybe nice for marketing reasons, but probably not for competition reasons.
Well, I think it's a good time to come in because there is a standard car, kind of probably what you guys are used to over there compared to before money bought speed, and that's not so much the case today in the Cup Series. But also, man, you guys got a lot of good engineers over there, and I mean, we see a lot more guys from overseas coming over engineer-wise to work at these teams because we're used to doing things a certain way and don't think it can be done another way. And then somebody comes from the outside and is like, "Have you tried it this way?" You know.
I think there might be a few little tiny cases where maybe European engineer would say, okay, let's try it that way, and that could work. But I think especially if you look at the big teams like Joe Gibbs Racing, Henrik Motorsport, Penske, they know so well what they are doing with the car. They always find the way to make those cars a bit faster. I wish I would have that confidence in European engineering to say, hey, if I bring European engineers, we find the way to beat the others. But I don't see this right now. So I race a stick with NASCAR experience right now.
Well, we hope.
I mean, if a European engineer is listening to this or is watching this and thinks, hey, he has a great idea how to win NASCAR races, I'm always open. So.
Well, I mean, I can say me and Jack are very connected, but we know a lot of people in the Cup garage or in a lot of those garages. A lot of those big teams, I know Childress had a big push for, I don't know if they were German, but there was a lot of overseas engineers that they've brung in. I think one guy that Childress brung in was a doctor about 5 or 6 years ago that just bring a different way of thinking. You know, sometimes you get stuck in your old, in our old ways. Has been a benefit. So I could see how you coming over and maybe bringing some engineers would probably help both sides, the team that's helping you and vice versa.
I mean, I would love to do this. And as soon the car is running the way I want to have it, as soon I'm settled in the sport, accepted in the sport, having maybe a little fan base and whatever, I'm for sure absolutely open to bring strong European engineers. I would have right in mind probably 5 to 10 people where I know that they are really, really good and that they are also interested in joining NASCAR, not only from the competition side, also because racing is changing so much in Europe compared to the United States, because with all the electric cars flooding the market in Europe, it's sometimes pretty weird if I tell someone in the States, I'm in the car racing business. People are like, oh, that's great. That's awesome. Good luck, man. If I tell this in Germany, I hear so often, oh, car racing, that's so bad for the environment, right? And that will affect the racing in Germany a lot in the future. You can see it now with the GT3 race cars. So the first manufacturers are starting not producing new GT3 cars after the actual model is done. As you could see with Audi, for example, that are like super successful in GT racing, but they have other targets they're focusing now, but they were very focused on electric cars, electric car racing. I have to say, honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of this. It provides good racing, but I like to be at the racetrack and I want to hear the engine, I want to hear the exhaust, and but because of this, I think in the future you might see more and more people from Europe coming into US racing because it is more accepted, especially in the South and the Midwest. So I think that will happen.
Now, will you come to the States for these few races this year that you guys are trying to do?
Yeah, so it looks pretty good. We have pretty good set for our races for next season, but I would love to do at least, even if it's just the last two races with Martinsville or Phoenix, I would love to do them because it would be two more races and I could start earlier. But that depends actually on two partners and sponsors if they already want to join this year.
Now, I gotta ask one more question before we let you go. Now, so far as on the marketing side of it, are you trying to marketing to a global brand to bring to NASCAR, or are you trying to come to the U.S. and attract a U.S. sponsor?
I would say both. If there's a company that is interested in sponsoring me, I'm always open. But actually, most of the companies we are talking to are German companies or European companies that are represented in the United States. Mm-hmm. And for example, in the Charlotte area where I'm about to relocate, you have just in Charlotte almost 400 German companies. I mean, for sure, they're also small companies, but they're also like really big global players. Huh. And just in the United States, you have so many big German companies. If it's candy companies or forklift companies or chainsaws, whatever, you can name it. There are so many companies that are really represented in the United States, and we want to give them the networking opportunities to say, hey, if you sponsor with us, we're going to have a nice lounge or whatever at the racetrack or a tent at an RV where you can network with other partners, you can meet interesting people. So also to give them a little, or not a little, hopefully a big value, being at the racetrack, not only putting a sticker on the car. And actually I see that there are many German companies or Austrian companies that are interested in my project and in my team, because they say, hey, if that helps to make more money in the United States, we're open to this. And I mean, I'm really sure you guys know, like NASCAR fans are super, super loyal. You can go to Walmart and you can fill up the whole shopping cart just with products that are represented on NASCARs. Wow. And that is what people even in Germany realize. And what is also benefit, NASCAR is super popular in Germany. So it's broadcasted in TV. So some races are on free TV, some are on pay TV, but you can watch the races over here. They even broadcast it in German. And they do a great job. So they attract a lot of people. And if you see the streaming numbers, what a NASCAR race even has in Germany, it's better than most of the GT racing series in Germany. And this is pretty cool, I think. So for the German companies, it could be a benefit for both markets.
Well, Dennis, we appreciate you being with us. I know it's early in the morning over there and probably ready to go to bed and go to sleep. Because it's 9 o'clock, almost 9 o'clock over here, and I'm ready to go to bed and go to sleep. So
yeah. So it's late, but anyway, because of my business relations, I always work late right now because I have so many contacts in the States. So I'm getting used to it. So I just try to sleep a little bit longer tomorrow. And I have to prepare Saturday night, the Daytona race. It's a nice night race. I definitely want to watch it. So I have to stay up pretty late with my son, who's a big NASCAR fan. So yeah. It's good practice for Saturday.
Who's your son root for?
Excuse me. My son, he's a huge Kyle Larson fan, but he's not like a bandwagon Kyle Larson fan, like since he is in the number 5. So he was already Kyle Larson fan when he was racing the 42, and before that he is the biggest Casey Kane fan. So it was like super fitting that one of his 2 favorite drivers got the number 5 from Casey Kane. So I mean, not directly the number 5, there's a little span in between. But he's always pulling for Kyle Larson. What I like, because even back home in Germany, we drive Chevrolet cars, so we are like pretty loyal to the brand.
All right, well, cool. Well, Dennis, when you get moved over here, let us know about it. And you got anything coming up, let us know so we can get you on here and help you put the word out.
Absolutely. I'm always happy to join you guys. I hope I see you guys soon at the racetrack in the garage area, and you say hello to me and we can shake hands. So
we'll do that. We'll look for you.
Awesome. Thank you very much for having me. And then I say hello and good night from Germany.
All right. Thank you very much.
Good luck,
we'll
Dennis.
talk to you
Thanks,
later.
buddy.
That's cool.
That is.
Did y'all know, like, so Terry Labonte actually like prophesized Kyle Larson going to the 5 car before that ever happened. He was on the junior download, and it's actually Terry. It's funny he said that because Terry was one of my favorite drivers. But if you watch that Dale Junior download episode, he's not really a big fan of racing anymore. He's not really into it as much. But they asked him, he was like, "Who's your driver? Who you watch?" And he's like, "Well, I think that Larson guy is pretty good."
Yeah.
And then 2 years later, he's in the 5 car.
Well, in the car, yeah. Well, I mean, people said Kyle Larson was good years ago.
That's right. He can drive just about anything and do well.
Well, I think he's proven that. And got a local boy as a crew chief.
Yeah, local boy from right here at Dominion Speedway is crew chief, and that's a really big deal. And that's huge for local tracks to have somebody that have that kind of connection with the Cup guys.
Yep.
So let's talk Dominion before we get off the air. Let's get to Dominion Speedway. You can say you didn't tell us anything about it. You didn't you gave us a date, but you didn't.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can't tease with so much about it. It's since November 19th. It's a big race. Be a lot of.
When is this going to be announced? Do we have a date that it's going to be
I
announced?
think probably I'd say by the end of next week. We're just
in
getting
about
a
10
few,
minutes.
What is that? We're just getting a few loose ends tied up. Is pretty much how that goes. The national champion will be crowned at Dominion on the same 17th. The Smart Mod Tour race. Late miles there. Lane Riggs, Peyton Sellers. I think he's off like 20 points.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he's not that far back, but
that's going to be a big night.
With Lane Riggs, it might be a little difficult to pass him.
So that's going to be a big night for us, for sure. But now then
How long have you been full time at Dominion?
So almost 4 months.
Okay.
He's been there full time, but he was a hot dog last year.
Right. So I moved up the chain of command just a bit in the
Did
kitchen.
you see that video of the guy at the ball field that used his hot dog for a straw?
I saw that.
I did.
That's the strangest. I was like,
if you do that, I don't know. If you do that at Dominion, I might have to get security on you.
I was like, what the hell is this guy doing? Oh.
Yeah, hey, the glizzy straw, man. That's
So give us your perspective on what it's like to work for Steve. I mean, Steve is a cool guy. I've been up there and I've met with him. I've sat in his office and talked with him.
Oh man, yeah, it's been great. Like I said, he's been a tremendous help, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be there. No, it's great. He's a little bit more hands off, I'd say. Now it's a big team effort. That's the cool thing about where I'm
So
at.
who all's up there that kind of works in office or helps
so
coordinate everything?
Yeah, so you've got me, you've got Will Britt, obviously his son, and he's 100% one of the hardest working people that I have met on the face of this earth. I mean, people wouldn't know who that kid is around that facility just because he's got his hands in so many different things, making sure that facility is top notch every Saturday. Everything's running smoothly. So he does a lot of stuff. You've got David West, sales, and our chef does a lot. So it's a big collaborative team.
Donna Mullins.
Dinah Mullins has been a huge help for me just starting out because I have a little bit of graphic design experience, but gosh, she's an expert. And so she provided a few templates
Well,
for me
look what
to-
she's got to work with. It's, you know,
That's yeah.
when you take something that's way down here and you bring it up, I mean, that's talent.
Yeah, no. So she's been a tremendous help. All of the media people. It's hard to wrangle your photographers because they're all professionals. They do their own thing. I can't tell them what to
Right.
do.
Yeah.
But they get us good shots. They get us good content, and they really do a good job of marketing for us. And
So, I mean, what don't you guys have? I mean, you guys got a hotel, right? And that's y'all's, or is that
it's not. It's on the property. I think we have some deals that we can kind of run through there occasionally, but no, it's not officially. It's not officially ours. But
So they essentially rent from y'all, or
Right.
Okay, I got
right, it's part of the big complex, you could say.
you. Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, y'all got. I know y'all were doing. I don't know if you're still doing the drive-in movies.
We haven't done that. So a lot of things you have to kind of look at as far as what does it take to put on and what's the return.
Sure. Yeah.
And then
absolutely.
and then also what if you're gonna invest into something, what do you want to invest in? And so that's kind of where we're at now. Is we've got a Friday nights street prep. No prep street racing has been a big hit that's been growing a lot recently. So we put a little bit of effort into that, and then we're just putting effort into the oval track, putting effort into booking some good shows at the Groove, just more more easy turnaround type things than trying to put on these crazy, because it's
Elaborate.
you can do the drive-ins, and you can do the I got people always asking me about the go-karts and all that
Are
stuff.
y'all doing go-karts?
No, we're
Okay.
not. If somebody wants to buy them, I think we can get a good price
But,
together for them.
but the thing, you look at all the entertainment that you got there at Dominion. I mean, the road course. I think that's that's cool. I
Well,
mean,
they were, if you saw it earlier today, they were on the track. You had all your exotics were out on the track earlier today. Your Porsche and your Corvette, and your Lambo, your Ferrari. They were all out there. You could sign up and take your 1 laps, your 2 laps, your 4 laps, your 8 laps. Get out on the 2-mile road course. It's 12 turns. I mean, it's fun. I've been out there. I've been out in the truck. I've been out, and I was actually going to ride today in one of the Lambos, but I had to scoot down to the house, see my wife and kids real quick before I scooted down here. It's an hour and 45 minutes I drove to come be with you guys. So
I thought he was smart.
come on, man. I had the opportunity. I appreciate y'all having me on here.
Oh, we appreciate it.
We appreciate you making the effort.
And
I
we
mean,
were-
really. I think it does. Sometimes it does help to be in front, and some people do have to do videos simply because they're so far. But I think it does help if you can make a difference, because I think personalities come across better in some cases.
Aaron and I are going to get together while Scott's out. We're going to get
But
together.
not like that.
Boy, I tell you
He's
what,
tough, man.
he's
Well, look, when I got my foot up with
but
surgery, I'm
but
just gonna sit on the tape.
but
on
when
Tuesday.
you go in for a sex change operation, you get that kind of crazy before you go.
Oh my gosh, they got you on some funny notes.
But anyway, I mean,
Yeah.
we talked to Aaron. We're gonna set a date where we're gonna come up there and do a show from up there. It'd be really cool to have
I
you
think-
come back out and be with us.
Yeah, maybe I'll come out in the hot dog, or
Well, I wouldn't have
I like you're down for anything like that. This is funny.
I wouldn't.
I'm down
I
for a
wouldn't
good
let you
laugh.
do that. Now, if you could even make Aaron come out like a hot dog.
I don't know. That might take some convincing. So.
Yeah, good luck
So
with that one.
But we are going to do that because I've gone up there and done the show from up there before, and when Scott was here and I was there, but I mean, it'd be fun to do that again and get some of those guys up there. And
Yeah, it's such a nice facility. It would be great for you to come in, get some shots. I think you said something about going on Facebook Live and just walking around showing the facility.
yeah.
Now,
that would
now
be
your
awesome.
your street racing, is that on the oval track or is that on
No,
the
that's
drag
so
strip?
on the drag strip itself, the back stretch, the front stretch, whatever you want to call it. We use that 1/8 mile stretch to do no prep, and it's been growing. It's been pretty cool. It's a lot of locals. I think that the vibe out there is kind of laid back and chill. Kind of come out and be safe. Yeah, make a couple passes. Be safe. Not out on the back country roads, running into, wrap yourself around a tree. But
Right.
You know,
Well, it's kind of like the
cool.
Wacky Wednesdays here. It's kind of for local guys. They just bring is that a street car that they bring or is whatever?
yeah, I mean it's all different types. I mean, we've had people come out in the freaking the Chevy Sonics, and then all the way out. We had a big match race this past week. Was a big tire versus small tire Mustang and a Cavalier. I mean, just absolutely souped up. Drags all the way down to, some people come out there on their bike and do a wheelie all the way down.
But it was really fun the first time I went up there. Now, I did not know the first time I went. I knew there was a drag strip out there. I knew they used the drag strip. But I did not know there was a full road course out there.
Right.
That's the first time I was there. I did not know that the full course.
Some people you just can't.
Well,
You see what I'm working with now.
Anyway, I'm going to finish my story, whether he likes it or not. But I didn't know it. But I'm sitting there watching the practice at the oval track. And all of a sudden, I see all these cars going up the back.
yeah, going to the back stretch.
And it was hilarious. I went down there and watched them. I went down and watched that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot of fun. It's
They have the endurance races. I know a couple of my friends of mine went up and ran it last year. Was that like December or?
yeah, I think that's the next one. One of the next
October or something like
races
that?
will be October, I think. Or
It was like a 3 hours and
yeah, you
there's a bunch of
gotta
different
wait till the
classes.
season's over, so because nobody wants to tear their mess up,
Yeah.
while the season's in. But yeah, you wait till the season's over, do it again. It's a big 6 hour shebang.
Yeah,
Everybody's out
you
there
got 3
just
drivers. Maybe each driver what runs 2
cruising. Yeah, you got
hours.
Papa John's chilling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, right.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Papa John's and Mountain Dew.
That's it. So
Mountain Dew the drink, not Mountain Dew the other way.
yeah,
But anyway,
Yeah,
well, we
you're not that
appreciate
funny,
you
Jack.
making that trip down here, man. I know that's
Yeah.
a long trip down here.
oh, my pleasure. I appreciate the opportunity
And
to
it
come
was
down.
great to have you here and great to meet you.
Yeah, for sure.
And hopefully
Good.
when I get up to, I'm gonna get up to up there soon, and we'll have a hang out up there a little bit, and I'll see what you up to when
We'd love to have you, man.
And
Whenever.
if you play a practical joke on Jack, I got you. I'll slip you a 20.
All right, I'm already a little incentive.
Nothing
man.
is
Incentive.
nothing is too much. So
don't listen to me.
He's something, man.
Well,
He's in little trouble.
he'll be a whole lot better to get along with when he gets back from his operation.
Until the hormones down, you're gonna get more hormones, man. You get whacked out for me.
I'll be on some serious drugs. Yeah.
But anyway, we want to thank Brandon and everybody we have with us, Kevin Canter, Dennis Hirtz, and of course, Chase Barclay was with us tonight. And please like and share our show. Next week, we know we'll have Roger Bell here with us next week. So that's the only person I've got lined up right now, but we'll see what else goes on. Maybe Aaron will finally show up over here next week. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, we'll talk to you again next week. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.